Hello, friends. Welcome to our channel. Today, I bring you a deeply disturbing and mysterious horror story that will stay in your mind for a long time. This is not just a simple ghost story, but a chilling paranormal experience that slowly turns into fear. The story begins with a man named Shashank who was transferred to a new city because of his government job. He had no relatives or friends there, so he decided to stay in an old government quarter. The place was cheap and quiet, but it looked very old and lifeless. The walls were cracked, rooms were empty, and behind the house there was a large garden filled with wild grass and broken bricks. But Shashank loved gardening, so he didn't care much about the condition. Every evening after work, he would clean the garden, plant seeds, and spend hours alone in that silent place. Days passed normally, but one night something unusual happened. While working in the backyard, Shashank suddenly heard the sound of grass being cut from the other side of the wall. The sound was clear, slow, and continuous, as if someone was working there late at night. Curious, he climbed on a few bricks to see what was happening. What he saw made him pause. There was a young girl in the garden behind his house. She looked normal at first, around his age, quietly cutting plants under a dim light. When their eyes met, she didn't speak a word. She just looked at him for a few seconds and gave a slight nod. That silence felt strange, but not scary. At least not yet. From that night, Shashank started seeing her almost every day. Sometimes she was sitting on a tree branch, sometimes walking slowly, and sometimes just standing still, watching him without blinking. As days passed, Shashank tried to talk to her. He soon realized that the girl could not speak. She was completely silent and only used hand gestures to communicate. Their conversations became strange and one-sided. He would talk normally, and she would just respond with slow, unclear movements. Still, he felt a strange connection. One evening, he helped her pluck guavas from a tree using a long stick. The fruits fell on the ground, but the girl didn't pick them up. She simply stood there, staring at them, and then slowly looked back at him with a faint smile. That moment felt very uncomfortable. The next day, the fruits were still lying there, untouched, slowly rotting. That was the first time Shashank felt something was seriously wrong. Then came the night that changed everything. It was late evening, and the air felt colder than usual. When Shashank looked over the wall again, his heart almost stopped. The girl was hanging upside down from a tree branch. Her hair was falling down, her face twisted in a strange smile, and her eyes were fixed directly on him. She was not moving like a normal human. Her body was still, but her presence felt heavy and unnatural. Shashank got so terrified that he slipped and fell hard on the ground. His head hit the floor, and for a few seconds, everything went blank. When he gathered the courage to look again, she was still there, smiling, watching. Slowly, she jumped down in a very unnatural way, like something that didn't follow normal human movement. That moment filled Shashank with pure fear. After this, things became worse. A few days later, his friends came to stay with him. One night, while Shashank was talking to the girl again, his friends suddenly asked him, "Who are you talking to?" Shashank pointed towards the tree and said, "That girl's sitting there." But his friends froze. They said there was no one there. Shashank looked again, and suddenly, the girl disappeared. Just like that, in front of his eyes. His heart started racing. Fear slowly turned into panic. The next day, he asked his neighbors about the house behind his quarter. What they told him made his blood run cold. That house was abandoned for years. No one lived there. People believed it was haunted. Many had heard sounds, seen shadows, but no one dared to go near it. Now Shashank finally understood the truth. The silent girl was not alive. She was a ghost, a trapped spirit that only he could see. From that day, he stopped looking towards that house. He covered the wall completely so he wouldn't see anything again. But even after that, the sounds never stopped. Late at night, he could still hear grass cutting, footsteps, and branches moving, even when there was no wind. He never saw the girl again clearly, but he always felt that she was still there, watching him from the darkness. He lived in that house for more than a year because he had no other option. The fear never left him. He never tried to find out who that girl was or what happened to her. Some mysteries are better left unsolved. Even today, that abandoned house stands silent, but maybe not empty. So, friends, if you ever feel something watching you or hear sounds that have no source, don't ignore it. Some things in this world are beyond logic and understanding. If you enjoyed this scary horror story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more real ghost stories and paranormal experiences.